Everyone's got to be excited for another Marvel movie, right? I mean, it's only number 3 this year, and number 20 overall in the MCU, and the 4th one that's come out since I ranked literally all of them in November. So it's got to be impossible to be sick and tired of these Marvel movies by now, right? Right? But honestly, the first Ant-Man was a top 10 of those films. And for great reason. I love Paul Rudd, I love Michael Pena, I love Lawrence Fishburne, and I like Michael Douglas. The wit, action set pieces, and interesting dynamics of an ant-sized superhero work really well together. The fact that some people might have slept on the first one almost makes me as mad as another franchise fatigue-laden film that people might be sleeping on. Solo. Seriously, Pena's recap of what happens in the first Marvel film is one of my favorite things to happen in the Marvel universe.
So I'm at this art museum with my cousin Ignacio, right? And there was this like abstract expressionism exhibit. But you know me, I'm more like a neo-cubist kind of guy, right? Because look at the girl I'm with. You know what I'm saying? She's crazy stupid fine, right? The bartenders are all like, yeah, crazy stupid fine. So this writer chick tells Ignacio, yo, I'm like a boss in the world of guerrilla journalism, and I got mad connects with the peeps behind the curtains, you know what I'm saying?
And that thankfully makes a brief return in this one. 2 years after the events of Civil War, Scott Lang gets caught aiding Captain America and is currently serving house arrest. With 20 years hanging over his head, he's on his best behavior, spending time with his daughter on the weekends and running his newly established security company. When, you guessed it, a villain comes along, steals something, there's some chase scenes with fighting among car chases, yada yada yada. I mean, I really don't have to explain the plot of a Marvel movie at this point, do I? We're all just gonna keep chucking money at the movie screen, no matter what superhero it is. It could literally be a Walmart employee with amazing shelf stacking abilities, and we would all just wait in line to see it. Ant-Man, though, is a character that almost has a slight Deadpool feel to it. I mean, a metric ton of less gore and violence, but the same type of disconnected feeling from the Avengers and the events of Thanos' finger-snapping population cutter. Speaking of blood and gore, how sharp is your knowledge of blood and viscera? If it's not up to standard, then I've got a fix for you. Teach Sara Science is a podcast series where Rachel tries to teach her sister Sara different science topics. It's very informative and a great listen. Plus, it's produced by yours truly, so you know it's great quality and has a ton of humor in it. The first episode covers blood, so do me and them a favor and go give it a listen. Follow the Facebook page, it's Teach Sara Science -podcast. I'll leave the links down below. So where was I? Ant-Man, right. Ant-Man and the Wasp keeps up a good job of balancing out its characters. Ample screen time for each of the stars keeps the movie moving along. Even at the point where it starts to drag a little, Pena, Douglas, and Fishburne are there to inject comedy and class acting to pick it back up. It's also the cleverly placed timing in the universe that makes this one enjoyable. I, myself, am a fan of the ones that feel like it's ripped directly from the pages of a comic book. I can't harp on it enough I'm doing good today. Woo! I can't harp enough about how much I hate when a film has this world-ending all-or-nothing plot that ruins a city and feels like there should be way more military presence in it. This one does a good job of feeling contained and more of a personal mission. Although it's not quite as good or funny as the first one, it's still a very enjoyable film that's a good relief after the darker, more meaty Infinity Wars from a few months ago. Ant-Man 2 can be consumed without really having to think too much. I wouldn't say that Marvel really knocked it out of the park with this one, but it's a solid ground rule double that expands onto the lovable superhero that I otherwise had no time for. It shows that the MCU could really have future legs to stand on without the main stars. As long as they keep churning out good movies like this one, I'll be in line spending more money to see them. I'm giving Ant-Man and the Wasp a not-so-tiny 7.9 out of 10. So I know this is a Friday finale and I'm cutting this one a little bit short because, well, it's summer, everyone's got stuff to do. You don't want to be watching a 10-minute video. Go give that podcast I mentioned earlier a listen to. It's great. It's about 45 minutes, but you can do that while you're driving to work or, you know, working out, whatever. You'll learn something. We're also running out of good movies to review this year. Just sitting in the theater for this movie, the previews were just awful. As always, the more people that like and comment down below, the more this spreads around, the more that I see the view counter go up, and it makes me feel better about myself. Comment down below ill blood if you stayed and watched the entire thing. I like to know who my true fans are out there. I see you guys. I see you. I will see you in the next video. You never know what it's going to be. It could be reviews for 4 other movies that you haven't really had time to go see. Oddly specific. It could be that. It could be something else. I don't know. Okay. I've got to go work on other projects. I will see you guys next week. Love you. Peace.